wondering what's going on with you and Terence Crawford. This fight going to happen?
I think it's going to happen. We both want to fight. I want to fight. He wants to fight. And, it's going down to negotiations. So I definitely going to get the fight this year. And we're going to square off this year with the biggest fight in boxing.
It is the biggest fight in boxing. Where and when, if you were guessing?
I don't know where, I don't know when, but it's definitely going to be this year.
All right. We look forward to that. Thanks for taking the time, Errol.
Thank you. No problem.
It's coming up. We just don't know when, Morrow.
All right, Jim, a stellar 6 months of the boxing calendar, and boy, that would put a nice big cherry on the Sunday that is the sweet science in 2022. Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford. Let's get it done as we continue to get it done here.
It is the biggest fight in boxing. Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Where and when? Jim Gray asked Errol Spence directly that question. Errol Spence's answer, he laughs. And I'm going to tell you the rest in this video. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you come in, smash the like button. I'm the greatest that's ever lived when it comes to this boxing. Let's talk about it. Showtime, first of all, they did a great job, had a great card. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. They did a great card. Max Sayo ended up losing to Ray Vargas. That was a fun fight. Brandon Figueroa looks sharp, bounces back off of a loss to Cool Boy Fulton, and he got a stoppage win over a very game opponent. And then Derek James, Errol Spence's trainer as well, Jermell Charlo's trainer as well, Frank Martin, gets a knockout late in the fight, turns up on the boy, and knocks out Jackson Martinez. So sharp performance by him. Now, Man Down Promotions, aka Errol Spence Jr., was in the crowd, and he's promoting Frank Martin as well. He's been telling everybody that would listen that Derek James' stable has another stud, another Texas stud, and that's Frank Martin. And he was in the crowd. Jim Gray directly asked that question. He said, everybody wants to see it, that fight with you and Terence Crawford. Will it happen? And you guys heard at the beginning, Errol Spence, he basically sounds like it's going to happen. And he says, if you had to guess where and when. And Jim Gray smirked, and that smirk was telling. And then Errol Spence, before he responded, if you'll notice, he started laughing. If not, just play back the beginning of this video. He started laughing, and he's like, I don't know if he was caught off guard or if off camera there's something that Jim Gray knows that the rest of us haven't been, given the information. But Errol Spence laughed, and he says, I definitely think it will happen this year. I don't know where and I don't know when, but it's definitely going to be this year. Again, this is what Errol Spence Jr. said. This is amazing. And, I hope it's true. On my channel, I strive to give you guys reliable information. That's from the horse's mouth. I know there's a lot of people who are growing impatient, waiting for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford to fight. And if they're going to fight, the fans arguing in the comment section. And it looks like we're closer than ever. Derek James, and I'll probably have to make a separate video about it, but Derek James was also asked about the potential fight, and he said, I do whatever my fighters want. It's up to my fighters. If they want to fight, then I want to fight, and I'm with it. We're a team, basically. So I love it. The talking stops, the entertainment starts. Errol Spence also said this is the biggest fight in boxing, which I concur. I don't care nothing about what Eddie Hearn is talking about. Eddie Hearn said something different. He said Canelo Golovkin 3 is the biggest fight, or 10 times greater. I don't know if they selling delusion in the UK or what, but I disagree with that. I think Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. I mean, just look at it. And I'm not saying this because listen, there's a cause and effect. Action and a reaction. Eddie Hearn, he says so much stuff. It's like sometimes you gotta address it. Like, I don't really I'm a boxing head, you know what I mean? I'm a boxing professional, so I don't just pick on fights. I don't just say, oh, Canelo Golovkin. I'm not here really to compare and contrast, but when somebody else lays it out in front of you and it makes the comparison, draws the comparison, and you listen to what they say, then yeah, I'm definitely free to react and give my thoughts on that. And Eddie Hearn saying that the Errol Spence fight is not as great with Terence Crawford, but I think that's cap because at the end of the day, we've already seen 24 rounds of Canelo versus Triple G, and we did it years ago, starting in 2017. That's the year Mayweather and McGregor fought. The reason I know is because I went to all the fights. Terence Crawford, I remember it was one of my crazier stretches in boxing, being an independent, full-time YouTuber. Terence Crawford fought for Undisputed. I went to that. That was in Lincoln, so I spent a week out in Omaha/Lincoln and watched Terence Crawford knock out Ndongo to become Undisputed. Then I flew home. I was home for a couple of days. Then I flew back out for Mayweather McGregor. I flew to Vegas this time to watch Floyd Mayweather versus McGregor as credential media. And that fight week was crazy. We had wristbands that we couldn't take off. You had to shower with your wristband. It's just next level. And that was for Mayweather McGregor. And then I came home for another few days and I flew back out to Vegas to go watch Canelo Golovkin as credential media, the first one. Right. So that was like a crazy stretch of just like fights back to back. And I was super tired by the end of it, but it was a great for my channel. And I had a great time covering those fights. So Canelo Golovkin happened way back then when Mayweather was fighting McGregor. Again, make sure you guys come in, subscribe, like the video, SLC, subscribe, like, comment. So Canelo Triple G's saga is it's kind of played out. Although when we're looking at Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, that's a brand new 2 undefeated prime stud fighters. Both, there's been some talk. People have been wanting to see the fight for years. To me, the Canelo Triple G, I ain't really heard nothing about Canelo Triple G. That fight got announced. This fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence hasn't been announced. But Errol Spence, he's sounding like there's a lot of promise to it. He says, I don't know, but it will happen this year. And he said that on Showtime. Again, you guys heard it. So, I got to talk about the latest and greatest and what's out there. To me, I think Errol Spence Crawford is a much bigger fight. It's a bigger stakes. You know what I'm saying? Because when I look at Canelo Triple G, what are the real stakes? Canelo's coming off a loss. He already lost for the first time since 2013 officially against Floyd Mayweather. And Triple G's 40 years old, and he'll be 41 years next year. And he already lost the last time he fought Canelo in 2018, and he looks like he's regressing. So that's not really a high stakes. I like a fight where the stakes is high, like Ruth's Chris. And that's Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. The stakes are extremely high. Both guys coming in wanting to win. Both guys are, on a mission. Count me in all the way. That's the type of fight that I'm talking about. Because it's this is, a lot of fights get compared to Hagler, Hearns, and all that. And I don't like to do that because I don't want to disrespect the classical fighters of yesteryear. But the reality is, out of all fights, because I remember they said Golovkin versus Lemieux, they compared it to Hagler, Hearns. I think they even did it to Canelo versus Triple G in the promotion. This actually, out of all those fights, has the ability to maybe live up to a Hagler, Hearns type of modern day generation version of Hagler, Hearns, based on the temperament of Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. They are literally actual dogs. You know what I'm saying? Dogs that can both fight. Both guys can box. Both guys can mix it. Both guys got that vicious, mean streak. Both guys have power, and then they have great styles that can gel well with each other. To me, I think Terence Crawford is more cunning and he's super athletic. I would say he's faster. He's very crisp. But Errol Spence is methodical, fundamentally sound, technically sound, better experience, being an Olympian and collecting the belts individually in the welterweight division. I know Crawford did it, but he did it at 140 and he didn't have a path quite the same as Errol Spence. I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section, but I don't think we can compare the 3 belts and how Errol Spence got them and who he had to beat to get them. We can't really compare that to Terence Crawford at 140, because it wasn't the same type of competition. And that's not to shame him or take away from his accomplishment, but that's just how I see it. But all in all, it's an amazing fight. So hopefully we get an announcement. That's all I got to say. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.